Hi, welcome. My name is Kelly, and you have shown up for restorative yoga. This class today is going to be a little more like yin yoga, where we hold poses, use less props in the holds, and to stretch specifically your hips and lower back, hamstrings, and so lower body in general. So let's start seated, and come and sit on your mat. Get a blanket. You need a blanket, and you need 2 blocks if you have blocks. And then a strap. You can always, these are optional. You don't have to have these. This is just going to make your practice a little more soothing, a little more restorative and beneficial. And then a blanket, and then a firm pillow or bolster. All right, so let's get started. Seated on your mat comfortably. I'm going to, so bring your legs forward of your, get situated here, of your blanket like this. And your feet on the other side of the blanket, on the outside of the blanket. And sit up tall and rest your hands on the top of your legs. Close your eyes. And take a deep breath in. And let that go, exhaling. Breathe in deeply. And fully exhale. Two more breaths, just like that. Inhaling through the nose. Taking in the moment. Feeling the body from the tailbone up to the crown of the head. Exhaling out. Inhale again. Feeling the placement of your body on the mat. The glutes. Then open your eyes and reach your arms up and stretch overhead. Put your palms together and clasp your fingers, palms straight up. Open up the body by reaching the arms forward and then reach up. Let's twist to the right side. Bring your hand on the outside of your leg and turn and look over your shoulder. Just a light twist. Inhale and reach up. Movement based in the beginning of our class to warm up the body, warm up the joints before we settle into lengthy holds. Inhale, and now let's lean over to the side. Reaching up and over with the arm, and turn your chin towards the ceiling, draw the shoulder back. Inhale, reach both arms up, then lean over to the opposite direction, hand on the floor, elbow down. Arm up and over the ear, turn your chin towards the ceiling, and then reach up. And let's change the crossing of your legs. To do that, lean back, bring your feet on the floor, and tip your knees side to side a few times. Cross your legs the other way, and sit up tall, shoulders rolled back, and reach up. Palms together at the top. Clasp your fingers, palms turn up. Reach the hands forward, stretching the shoulder blades apart, but relax the shoulders. Inhale and reach up. Let's lean over to the other side first. Draw the elbow down, lean back. Inhale, reach up. And hand down on the other side. Reach up and over, draw the shoulder back, look up. And then inhale and reach up. Place the hands behind the hips and lean back. Feet on the floor, tip your knees side to side. A little bit further, a little bit closer to the floor, tipping the knees over. Good, do that 2 more times, and then 1 more time. And then hold right here. So keep the knees over to the side. One heel is at the top of the other knee. Your foot's on its edge. This knee to the side, press down, and let's twist. So easy seated twist. Use your hand right here as leverage to turn and look over the shoulder and breathe. And breathe out. Inhaling. Exhaling. Breathe in. Press the leg down. Breathe out. Just hold. Continue the breathing, that energizing breath, filling the lungs with air, relaxing the body, the mind with your breath. And now start to untwist, look forward, and tip your knees up. And let's move your knees side to side again. Right, and then left. Right, and left. Tip the knees over the opposite direction and sit up. Bring one heel to the top of your knee and turn. Put one hand behind the hip, opposite hand at the thigh, and look over your shoulder. So this externally rotating here, internally rotating the hip here, stretching the inner thigh muscles, the adductors and the abductor muscles. And then also through along the hip right there. It's a nice stretch, especially if you turn and add a little resistance. And remember to move into a place where you feel the stretch, but not painful, right? So you don't want to overstretch or hold anything for too long that's not comfortable. As you exhale, you can turn just slightly more. Press the leg down slightly more. Inhaling, softening into the pose, and then exhaling. Inhale, exhale, and now look forward and bring your hands again behind and tip your knees side to side. There you go. Get some movement going, warming up the hips. And then bring the knees to the mat. Turn your body over. Place your blocks or books or whatever object that's about this height there. You can also use a pillow if that's all you have. Place the blanket in the middle of your mat and scoot your knees up on the top of the blanket. Bring your right foot forward and shift your hips forward. So your foot parallel to the block at first, right? And just hold right here for a moment. If this hurts your wrists, you can bring your fingers over the side and have the heels of your hands on the surface. So opening up the hip flexors on that left side, breathing in and breathing out. We've got 12 poses to do in class today. This is our the third pose of the class. And the intention of class to relax the spine, to stretch and create suppleness and mobility in the lower back, the hips, the hamstrings, the glutes. So now turn your right foot out. maybe you can come down to your forearm like this on your left side and then your right side. With your foot turned out, breathe. So in our world of sitting often, it's more important to pay attention, taking care of your body and your joints and your muscles as you grow stronger and as you grow older. A good stretch that's well done may be able to remedy a problem with the back or the hips, stiffness. Now bring your right hand, keep your forearm on the surface and bring your right hand to the inside of your right knee and look over your shoulder just slightly and hold. Breathing in, breathing out. Press into the forearm so you're not collapsing into the shoulder or dumping into the shoulder. Place your hand on the block and lift up. Look forward, and you can flex your foot right there. So shift your hips back. Flex your foot. Hamstring stretch. So then notice what's happening with your back. Slide your blocks in. Flatten your back. Lift your hearts. Right there. Press the heel down. And your knee is over your ankle. Your knee is over your ankle. Your knee is under your hip. That's what I meant to say. Press your heel down. Feel the hamstring. Just enough, not too far. Just actually kind of pull the heel along the mat energetically. And now slide that leg in, set your foot down, and let's cat-cow a couple of times on the blocks. So round your back up, look through your legs, drop your head, press your feet into the floor, then lower your belly, arch your spine, and look forward. Round up. Exhale, look through your legs, and then lower, look forward. Inhale. Exhale, round. Inhale. Exhale. And then neutral spine right there. Bring the opposite foot forward. Place the blocks on the inside of the foot. Shift the hips forward. Feel the flexor stretch in the front of the hip right there. On the side, move your blocks beside your foot. You can put your forearm right here and just get comfortable. Sometimes my toes get into cramps whenever I go into this stretch. So if you do, just tuck your toes under and work it out. There. All right, so then hands on the blocks. Maybe you can come down to your forearm. Shift the hips forward. Both forearms. Turn your toes out just slightly. Breathing in and breathing out. Opening up the hip, the psoas muscles on that right side, which go through the hip and connect to the muscles around the hip. So tight flexors, because speaking about sitting a lot in that 90-degree angle at the hip joint causes the hip flexors to become weak if you sit a whole lot. And so then your hamstrings can potentially take over and tighten up to compensate for weak hip flexors.
So right here, stretching out the flexors. Bring your hands onto the block. And then move your foot out just a bit, turn it out, and press your hand into the inside of the leg. And breathe. 5 breaths. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Press the top of your foot into the floor. Breathe out. Another breath. Walk your hands up. Keep your foot where it is. And then move your blocks just a skosh. Flex your foot. Hamstring stretch right there. Flatten your back. Lift your heart. Press your heel down. Press the toes into the floor. Good. Now place your foot flat. Move the blocks out of the way. And then come to sit on your mat. And bring your legs forward. So the next pose is bring your foot to the inside of the inner thigh and sit up tall. Right here. Now fingertips behind the hip. And then use the leg as leverage as you reach the arm around and turn, twisting the body. Breathing in, breathing out. Now I want you to press down that calf, the left leg, as you turn. Fingertips on the mat, looking over your shoulder. And then just look forward, but keep the twist. Or look straight out. To the side. And look forward. So make sure you're sitting on something. I want you to sit on at least a height that's about an inch. A blanket folded up a couple of times. Place your right foot on the other side of the left knee. And your left heel comes to the side. Press this foot down. That's one of your anchors. Press the leg down. That's the other anchor. Pressing down, and this heel on the other side is at your glute. Turn your body, or turn your shoulder, but keep your gaze out to the side. So you can line your chin up with your sternum. Just turning the chest, the trunk. Sitting up tall, press the leg down. Then start to look forward and bring that leg over, extend out. The left leg, this is called, or let's do the other side, and then we'll go to the next pose. Can't get away from ourselves. If we start stringing poses together, we might forget something on one side. So let's do right and left side on each pose since we're holding it for a longer period of time. Foot on the floor beside your thigh, like that. And then you're going to reach around and grab the leg and turn the body, turn the torso. And you can turn your head, your chin, and breathe. hip, trunk, torso, turning, breathing in deeply. Fill the air, go in the lungs, and then fully exhaling. And then look forward. Let's lift up the left foot, place it on the other side of your foot, of your leg, and kind of lean over and bring your heel to your glute over there. And I've got my foot off of the mat, the blanket, and on the mat, but I'm still seated up on the blanket. So even up how you're seated and grab your leg and pull it in. A little tighter this side, maybe. Pull the leg in, use that as leverage. No need to bind here like this, or just stay right here and turn. Turn and then orient your chin right over the sternum, right there. Looking out, looking forward, having an outward perspective. But then bring your focus to how you're seated and sit up tall, crown of the head reaching up. Relax the shoulders. Sitting bones, feel the sitting bones. Press the leg down, that leg underneath you. And then look forward. Unwind your legs. Seated shoelace pose. Legs straight out. You're seated on the raised surface. Blanket folded up. Bring your right leg up and bring it over and put the edge of your foot on the floor. Your toes are pointing up. Sit up tall. Knee over knee, right there. And you can hold your foot, fingertips on the floor, and sit up tall. You're contracting your abs. There's a lot going on. You're feeling your body. Feel the leg that's extended. Feel this leg that's across. Half Gomukhasana or cow face pose. And relax the shoulders. You can close your eyes for a moment for a couple of breaths. And then open your eyes and stay here or try this. It's a much deeper stretch. You're going to come into Gomukhasana, bring your left heel over to the right hip, and then your right heel to your left hip. And wiggle your feet so that they're parallel, and try to get your knees one on top of the other, right? Hips. Take a breath in. The more parallel you get your feet, the better, but try to keep your knees one on top of the other. Nicely done. Take a breath in. Exhale and lean forward. You can walk your hands forward for support. Breathe in and breathe out. A little bit closer to your legs. Stop at that place where you feel the stretch. You feel the stretch in the outside of the hips, outer hips here. Leg abductor muscles. Draw your elbows in. And maybe you can lower a little bit more. Feel the stretch. And once that feeling of stopping point kind of dissipates, lower a little bit more. The back of your neck straight so you can look down. Inhale, lift. Walk your hands back. And then as you undo your legs, lean back and extend up and straight out. Shoelace pose on the other side, or half Gomukhasana. Heel to the hip on this side, and this knee is over that knee, and flex your foot and sit up tall. Press this leg down like that. Relax the shoulders. Press the calf down, foot down. Then lean over and draw the right heel to the left glute. Or stay right there if that was enough for you, if you were feeling the stretch enough in your hip. Otherwise, try to get your knees one on top of the other so you can lift up. And then you want to try to parallel your feet like that. So one side and then the other side. Right there. Good. Knees one on top of the other. Look forward. So seated up on this little bit of a platform eases the lower back here in these seated positions. So that's why we're up on this raised place to allow the lower back to be comfortable as we stretch the hips. And then the legs and the quads, hamstrings. Lots going on here. Walk it forward more. Flatten your back. Chin neutral. Pull the chin in. Lower down more. Walk your hands in, and then you're going to lean back and separate your legs. Extend the legs out straight. Stretch them out. Flap them out for a moment. Coming to pigeon pose using the blanket. So I want you to come into 90-90 stretch like this, or like this. So knee 90 degrees, knee 90 degrees, like this. So your knee, bring your hip all the way to the edge of the raised blanket. So my sitting bone is right up there, and my knees to the side. Looking forward, scoot over if you need to so your knee is comfortable on this side. And then move the heel so the heel is underneath the knee, or ankle underneath, and look forward. Then we're just going to lean forward right here. Walk it forward with your hands. Flatten your back. Press this leg down. Then reach the leg behind you and put the top of your foot down. And stay right here for a moment. Press into your hands. Abs in, don't let your back arch. And you want to square your hips to the floor. So don't open up that left hip. If your left hip is opening up and you just can't get that hip facing the mat, then I want you to lift up higher. So lift up the body like this, right? Back of the back foot is pressing down, the toes pressing down into the floor. And you can pull your toes into the mat like that. And then walk it down. Put your forehead down.
Keep pressing the leg that's underneath you into the mat. Try to relax into your breathing, your breath. Are you using your breath to take the focus off of the stretch? Some of these intense stretches that we do to benefit the body, the joints, the muscles, the tendons, all the soft tissue in the body, can be tough to hang out and just have staying power. So use this time to develop an ability to relax into a pose. Start to lift your head, lift up all the way. And then you're going to sweep all the way over, and we're going to change sides. So place your left shin parallel to the front of the mat, and then your right shin parallel to the outside edge. And get your ankle under your knee, face forward, and sit up tall. How's this for you? How's this side? Different, right? Of course, it's a different side, but it feels tremendously different, probably. Mine does. You can see how much tension you have going on in your hips based on how high your knee kind of sits up naturally. Press that down and feel what happens. It goes down to the other hip and the other leg when you press that leg down. So all these muscles working together. Look forward. And then reach the chest towards the floor like that. Take a moment and look at your fingers. Press your fingers into the mat. Stay here, or if you can, and remember, let's position, this is important. You want to sit up on the edge of the blanket. 90-90 stretch, going to pigeon pose. Hands in front of the shin, and then start to reach that leg back behind you, and you're sitting up supported by that blanket. So bring your arms in front of the shin and press your foot into the floor back there, and look back and see that leg is straight. That's an important point of this position. You can stack your fists and square your body over the mat, up on that the blanket, or reach your arms forward and put your forehead down and breathe. So find staying power, even though this may feel so difficult, like you want to come out of it. If there's any pain, of course, come out of it. But if it's just feeling urgency to come out of a place where you feel stiff, then try to stay. Stay. Just stay. You can focus on your breathing to take the focus off of the difficulty. But we need to allow that enough time so the muscle relaxes. And then creating suppleness in the tissue. Relax your body on top of that leg. Breathe. By the way, your hips should be squared to the floor. And lift your head, walk your hands in, and just look forward for a moment. Take a deep breath in. And then shift over into that hip and sweep the leg forward. Extend your legs out straight or stretch them out. Hands behind your hips. Flap the legs out like that. Good. All right, so fire logs. This is an interesting stretch for me because I don't have a huge amount of hip opening. And a lot has to do with how big the hip socket is, where the femur head fits inside the hip socket. Also, much more stiff hip muscles. So this class benefiting, hopefully. So fire logs, bring your right ankle on top of your left knee, and then your left knee or your right knee hovers over the left ankle like this. And if it's in any way painful, you'll just move your ankle out a little bit, right? But try to get your shins parallel and sit up tall. Inhaling, and you want to have this foot flat, so don't let the foot sickle like that. You want to have it flat. Hold your ankle, put your hand right here on the top of your knee and look forward. Staying power. Flex your foot, both feet. Relax your eyes, closing them. Relax the jaw. Relax your forehead, the brow. Relax the legs, the hips. Take another deep breath in. Open your eyes and then move that foot off of the knee and stretch your legs out again and slap them out. Let's do the other side. So your right leg will go underneath this time. Sit up on the edge of the blanket like that so your hips are up higher, and then you're going to reach around and grab, bring that leg over. You can also cross your legs, just normal crisscross applesauce, flex your feet, and slight lean forward. Breathe, close your eyes. Three more breaths, inhaling, exhaling. Breathe in, breathe out. One more deep breath in. Relax the legs. And now lean back and separate your legs and slap that out. Let's lie down on the mat. Move your blanket out so you can place your head on the blanket, and you're going to use your strap right here and a block. You can also use a pillow if you have a pillow instead of the block. You'll just move the pillow from one side to the other. Lie down all the way on your mat. Head on the floor. And then bring your right knee into your chest. And hug that leg in. Let's check something real quick. Nope. All right. Right knee into the chest. Pull it in. Set your right foot down. Left knee into the chest. And set that down. Right leg. Now place the strap around your right foot. So the ball of your foot, extend the leg up straight, reach up as high as you can, and then allow the weight of the arms to pull your leg in. So the bottom of your foot faces the ceiling. your heel pointing up, your toes coming down towards your forehead. Extend the left leg out straight. And notice what's happening as you straighten that leg out. Stiffness in the hip flexors right there. We stretched those earlier in the lunge position. And lizard pose, reach up higher. Pull the leg in. So a slight bend in the right knee. So pull the leg in just a little more, just gently. Reach this for the strap with your left hand and lower your leg. And as you lower your leg, get your shoulders evened up on the mat and reach your right arm over to the right. From here, we're going to do, it's called cat pulling its tail. I'll show you what you're going to do. Look up here. All right. So hold the strap with your left hand. And so the cat tail is your left foot. So you're just going to try to grab your left foot. You can bend your knee and reach around. If your hamstring gets into a Charlie horse or a cramp, extend the leg out straight. All right, leg across. Let's try again. Bring the foot up. And grab your foot. Extend the leg over, reaching the right arm over to the right, or grab your foot. And then the block over here is for your leg to rest on, or a pillow. So we'll hold this for long enough. If you don't have the prop over there, then transition so you can grab the prop and place it underneath the ankle. And just look straight up. And get your shoulders down on the floor. Quad stretch. Important to stretch the quad as much as you stretch the hamstring. The quads can create tension and inflexibility in the hamstrings. So often the reason why your hamstrings are not supple and flexible, allowing you to fold or have mobility in the hips and the legs, is because the quads are tight. So this cat pulling its tail pose where you grab your foot, it's a good indicator whether or not you've got tight quads. Breathing in and out. So we're going to hold this for a longer period of time. So relax the arm, relax the shoulders, relax the hips. Your chin your chin pointing up or neutral. Your gaze is up. But then close your eyes. Notice your thigh, your quad. Did it loosen up as you held this? Did it relax? Give it a little more tug. Feel the stretch. And hold that. And then that feeling of tightness will dissipate. So now let your left foot go. Bend your right knee and settle your lower back onto the floor. Extend the leg up straight one time and bend, straighten and bend. Let's do the other side. Place your right foot on the floor. Get your back onto the mat and reach up. Strap around. the ball of your foot. So you guys, when I do the editing on this video, I'll actually put timestamps on the different poses. So if you want to come back to anything, you can just come back to the video and click on the timestamp to do the specific pose. Reach up, back of the head on the floor, extend out your right leg. The weight of the arms, allowing to draw the leg toward you. Slight bend in the knee. Let your foot flex down. You can look up for a moment and then close your eyes. Your right foot, let it go. Now grab the strap with your right hand and lower your leg over to the right. And then if you have a pillow to move it over to the other side. Otherwise, move your block. And you can turn your block to a different height and go over. So stretching the lower back right here. Your hip is on top of the other hip. Your foot's on its side. And then just gaze up and reach the opposite arm. And hold this for a moment. You can adjust your hand so that you take the slack out of the strap and your arm can relax. And then just try the cattail. So bend your knee first and relax. And then inch your foot back. Then reach and grab your foot. You may be better able to get your foot if you bend the left knee first and then inch your hip over. So it's about bringing that leg over, pointing the knee towards away from you. Then readjust the leg straight or keep that knee bent. Try to get your shoulders on the mat. Quad stretch. Here you want to relax the arm, relax the shoulders, relax the hips. And you can tug on your foot, give your quad that stretch, stretching up into the flexors also. So feel the stretch, abs in, and then hold for long enough to allow the muscle to feel comfortable again. And then whenever that happens, when you feel that feeling kind of dissipate and you're not aware of the muscle anymore, then pull just a little bit more. Back of the head on the floor. Chin neutral. Relax your glutes. Relax the hip, the pelvis, the shoulders. Three more breaths, inhaling, exhaling. Breathe in and breathe out. Now you can start to let the right foot go. Let it go straight all the way. Then bend your left knee and center up the back onto the mat. Remove the strap. Extend the legs up straight. Straighten the legs. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh. So I'll say that again. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh. All right, and then bend your knees. So we did this earlier seated in Gomukhasana. So here, bring your left foot to the floor. You've crossed your right thigh over the left, and you're just going to tip the knees over to the left. take your blanket and bring it underneath your neck and get your shoulders squared. Let your hips, your legs, knees tip over as far as possible. Get your hip comfortable. With your arms out like a T, that allows you to stretch the pectoral muscles, the front of the shoulders, the sides, abs pull in. And then start to open your eyes, lift your knees, settle your lower back onto the floor, extend the legs up straight, and let's change the crossing. So cross the left over the right, bring your right foot to the floor, keep your arms out, now tip the knees over to the right. Pull your back towards the mat. Your foot's on its edge, both feet, and you can keep your gaze up. But then close your eyes when you get your body in position. Lift the knees, settle the lower back onto the floor, and let's have Shavasana. You can place the blanket underneath your head and then your pillow underneath your knees or your feet. So you can go into Supta Baddha Konasana with your knees out, opening the hips, or knees splayed out with your feet on the other side. Make sure your feet are not dangling, though. You want to have your feet touching the floor. And then bring the arms out to the sides, turn your palms up. Take a deep breath in through your nose. So the beginning of our Shavasana will guide your breath. And then we'll settle in a little deeper for a few more minutes. And don't worry about time right here. Time is not of interest. What's of interest is allowing your brain to detox. Let go of your thoughts. The mind likes to have something to attach to think about, and to do. In Shavasana, thoughts come and you recognize them, then let them go. No need to do anything with them. Your thoughts right now, let them fade out. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Visualize the air going in the nostrils, into the body, filling the lungs. And then exhale that air, that breath, let it go. Inhaling, relax the shoulders. Notice if you had tension. let that go. Relaxing down the hips, the belly softens. Relaxing down to the feet as you breathe in. The toes, all 10. And your other extremities, the arms, the right and the left. Begin to move your fingers and move your toes. You can open your eyes right here and reach the arms up straight. Reach, reach, reach. Spread your blades apart. Bring your hands across the arms. Bring your hands to that back of your shoulders and squeeze. Give yourself a hug. Show self-appreciation for being here and for taking care of your body. Reach the arms up. Change the crossing. Hands come around the back of the shoulders and squeeze. And then lift up, reach. Place your feet on the floor. Move anything out of the way. Tip the knees side to side. Place your hand on your belly and your other hand on your heart. Tip the knees and then hold. Let the knees just come in and rest on each other. Feel your heartbeat or feel your breath, the rise of the chest, the rise of the belly as you breathe in. And now tip the knees over to one side and push yourself up to a seated position. And let's close class together. So sit up well. Bring the palms together to the heart and then to the mind's eye, the third eye. In gratitude and in thanks. Edge of the hands to the heart. And bow your chin. The light in me honors the light in you. Be well. Namaste. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for a great week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Whatever time you are doing this recording, enjoy whatever you have next coming up. And I'll see you again. Thank you. Bye.